Hello, it's Simple Seafood with Brian Malarkey because I'm a bit of a simple man. When I'm on TV, I'm cooking wild and out of control, but when I'm at home cooking for my family and my kids, I keep it super simple. And today's super simple seafood, S3, is salmon, right? I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I love salmon. We'll talk more story, but first things first. We're going to do this from top to bottom with the clock running, my friends. You've always asked, how long does it take to cook? Let's find out together. I've got my induction burner, saute pan at about a nice medium to high heat, 7 or 8 probably on your oven. I have these amazing ceramic non-stick pans, non-toxic by Caraway. We love these. Now let's talk salmon. I went down to my local fish butcher, otherwise known as a fishmonger. I don't know who gave him the title, but I wouldn't like that one. I got this beautiful piece of salmon. It looks like it's from the front section right here. Look at that, big, fatty, nice. Goes into the belly, a little bit thicker and fatter right here, a little skinnier on this side. I'm gonna cut it right down the middle and get 2 giant fillets on it. If you try cooking one big, huge piece like this, it's gonna be a little hard and fall apart, so 2 is a little bit more manageable. I wanna just take my knife, come all the way through it. I look at it. It's nice and dried off. If it's not, you'd probably want to use a paper towel to damp it off, but I've already done that. There is no scales on this, so that means the skin is the best part. Anytime you have a nice fish with a nice scaleless, is that a word? Scaleless skin, that's the best part, and we're going to use that as the main cooking surface. It all starts with an incredible pan, incredible product, and of course, an incredible oil. This is not a place for extra virgin olive oil. This is a place for the oil like avocado, grape seeds, sunflower, second pressed olive, so many different ones. This is a combination of all of those right into the pan there. I'm gonna wanna see just a little touch of smoke coming up here. So let's set the clock right there. We make sure it's nice and hot. I'm bringing up the heat. I wanna make sure this is roaring hot because think about it. These 2 large pieces of salmon are cold, right? They've been in my refrigerator. I pulled them out not long ago, but they are cold. And when I take something cold and put it into that hot saute pan, it's gonna bring the temperature down. And my main goal here is to get great caramelization. And that's the natural sugars and the proteins cooking, right? I can start seeing it working a little bit right there. Induction burner beeps at me. I don't like cleaning up a mess, so I'm just gonna season this right over the oil. Skin side down, right like that. Right here, you'll see the salmon quickly kind of jumps up. Next piece right there. Now, I'm done with it, all right? So let's start it. Let's say that's the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I bet I'm gonna cook it for about 80% of the way of this fish on the skin side. It acts as the really strong surface. The longer I cook it on the skin, the crispier and better that skin gets. It's gonna be like almost like a crispy, crunchy potato skin, right? And it's going to be an induction and heat that fish all the way up. We're cooking together. I encourage you to get your pan, get your fish, and get ready to go. Now, as we're going, let's talk about salmon, okay? So many different types of salmon. What salmon should I use? I'm from the Pacific Northwest, and any opportunity I have to get a wild Northwest salmon, I'll do it. Those are extremely expensive, and they're only really available fresh during the summertime. Why? Have you ever been to Alaska in the winter? You're not going fishing, my friend, okay? The Washington, the Oregon, the Canadian salmon, all great, but the fisheries are pretty much late summer, fall. During the winter, it's shut down. Does that mean that frozen salmon is wrong? Not at all, but make sure that you put it in the refrigerator to defrost it. Never the microwave. That defrost does not work for fish at all. And put it on paper towels. The water will come out of the fish into the paper towels. You need to get all of that moisture out of there. Continue to change the towel, get it really nice. Great, there you go. If not, you can always use that. There's the Irish salmon, the Icelandic salmon, the Atlantic salmon. There is always salmon available in every single grocery store you go to. You just want to make sure, you know what it is? I think the easiest way to buy fish in the grocery store, is it a busy grocery store, right? Is there a lot of people buying the fish, right? If that's the case, then that's great, you know? You never go to the empty restaurant and you never buy seafood from the grocery store that doesn't have a lot of people using it, okay? And now you can buy fish off the internet just as easy as anywhere else. They'll come to you frozen, you put it in the fridge just like we discussed, and it's gonna be perfect. Have you noticed I've done nothing here? Everyone always says seafood's so hard to cook. I'm just sitting here relaxing. I don't know what's so hard about it. I'll give it a little shimmy, shimmy, shake. I'm still up nice and hot. You can see exactly what's happening in this saute pan here. Just a little bit of bubbles. The whiteness is showing me where it's cooked. Now, what am I gonna have with my salmon? Let's think about it. The most easy things there are citrus and herbs, right? And of course, a little bit of butter and salt. So often people think, oh, pass the salt and pepper, right? I would like to argue with that. I think that is outdated thinking and outdated knowledge. Just like, cheese and fish, but that's a different story, right? Salt is a flavor enhancer. Pepper is a flavor changer. If you're going to commit to pepper, go all in. Peppercorn crust it. Do whatever you want. But oftentimes with pepper, I realize that it feels like almost like a little bit of bone or a little bit of shell when I'm eating seafood. And I really, really enjoy just that clean, great flavor of my seafood enhanced with salt. And I'm using just a nice little Maldon. You can use a kosher if you like. You don't ever want to use iodized salt unless you have an icy stairways going out your front door. And then iodize the salt out of that one completely. Otherwise, it's kosher and nice crunchy sea salt. Okay, so here we go. First things first. How to cut a lemon. Who even knew this was an option? In the olden days, I always thought cutting a lemon right down the middle was perfect. But you have to deal with the seeds. So watch it. If I go along the outside, I get beautiful slices of lemon without the seeds, right? Now this middle right here, I'm gonna use to spray over the fish when I'm done. These other little pieces, I got a little seed in there. I will use these for my garnish, right? How easy. I saw somebody do this once and I realized how not smart Malarkey really is, right? I got my lemons there. Nice Italian parsley, the universal soft herb, right? We are still, look at that. Fish is almost to like a nice medium, still cooking, nice and smooth right there. You can see kind of the fattiness coming out of that salmon. It's so good. I would say about another minute, minute and a half on this side, and then I'm gonna flip, and it's not gonna take more than another minute to go. Can you believe that? We don't need an oven, we don't need a grill, we don't need aluminum foil, just good oil and a good pan and a little bit of patience. Here we go. Now herbs. Herbs, as the English say, or the Australian pirates say, herbs because there's an H in it. I'm gonna take these up and just roll them into a little bit of a ball. I take my really nice sharp knife here. Always cut at a 90-degree angle. Not over here, straight. And just kind of roll. Parsley is a great thing to practice your knife skills. This is called a chiffonade. Chiffonade. I couldn't spell that if you paid me to. Chiffonade. I'm just going right there. I don't care if there's some of the stems in there. I personally believe parsley stems are amazing. I get down here to the end. I save my finger from any potential Band-Aid or stitches. And now I just come back over and mow the grass this way. Nice little chop, 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 chop. Kick it off. Do that. Look at that. We've got lemons. We've got this. We've got the butter. We're going to need a spoon. And we're going to need a fish spatula, which is this, or some tongs, okay? So now if you look, that skin is really going really nice, and we can tell how far it's cooked. It's cooked almost all the way through on the one side. We're gonna do a gentle little flip. Anytime you're flipping with oil in the pan, flip away from you. Look at that skin right there. Gonna flip this one. Exactly what we're talking about. There it is. The fun. Now the fun part starts, okay? I can see that it's almost cooked right there. I've got a little bit of that oil in there. Not bad at all. We're gonna take some of this butter and make a brown butter. There's just a little bit of oil in there, and it's a good oil, so it's gonna be part of our enhancement, all right? A little brown butter right in there. Dang. Oh yeah, look at that. Touch of salt in there. We got the unsalted butter. What's the difference? Why do people always ask salted, unsalted? Because one's got salt and one doesn't. And us chefs, we like to control the boat ride. You know, we like to control where we're going. So we get unsalted butter all the time. Then we can add butter. But if you want to take a short step right there, a shortcut, I'll call it, go for it. We don't care as long as it tastes good. Now, I've got my butter melting in here. I've got an induction burner, so I can't lift it up much, but I'm going to... Oh, she starts chirping at me when I lift her up. All right, right there. If you ever notice that your burners are getting too hot, your saute pan's getting too hot, you can take it down to a medium and keep cooking. We don't want the skin to burn and then have a raw inside. So you have to control the temperature so you get this nice, rich, dark color there, and it cooks all the way through. So my salmon is cooked all the way through right now. This is what I like to do. I like to take my parsley right now. It's gonna chirp at you a little bit. Watch this. Spin it around. I'm gonna take that big piece of the center of the lemon right there. Look at that. Deglaze with that. Perfect. Move this off. We just cooked that salmon together, my friends, all the way. Pick up my saute pan. The salmon is mid-rare right now, and I want it medium. That means I'm going to stop cooking it about 2 minutes before I think it's ready, because that's the carryover cooking, right? Perfect. Now look at that. I take my spoon. Oh, the simplest things in life, okay? A little bit of pan sauce right over the top. Put a couple little pieces of lemon on there so it looks beautiful. There, my friends, we just learned how to make simple seafood. All right, my friends? Brian Malarkey, Chef's Life TV, that's what it's all about. Making it easy and fun at home.